Hi everyone, it's Alex with Holistic Movement Pilates. Today I have a reformer class for you. It is going to be a full body workout and we're going to use a box for props. They can just start off to the sides to begin, and then when we start, foot bars are going to be all the way up. I'm going to go just 3 heavy springs on my reformer today. We're going to start with footwork. We're going to alternate some bilateral work, which is both legs, to unilateral work, which is single leg. So I'm not going to have it too heavy for my legs. Up to you for your springs. You can go lighter than that, you can go heavier than that, but I would say a standard would be 3 heavy springs on your reformer. Again, alternating bilateral, unilateral, and a box for props. I will have that linked in the description below. We're gonna lie ourselves down. Your headrest can be up or down, that is up to you. And then when we get down onto our reformers, we're gonna start with our toes, balls of our feet onto the foot bar. All 10 toes are going to be on. They're parallel with each other and just about a fist distance away from each other. So about that sits bones distance out. Now, neutral spine as always. We're gonna again alternate bilateral, unilateral work. Starting on your toes, we are going to do 3 presses with both legs pushing out. Then we're gonna switch to 3 pushes on the right leg and then 3 pushes on the left leg. And then we're gonna go back to both legs for 3. So that's gonna be our series. 3 bilateral presses and then 3 unilateral presses on each leg. Again, toes, balls of our feet are on. Breath is up to you today, whatever comes more naturally. We're gonna push the carriage out with both legs, bend to come back in, 2 more, push out and in, and then last one out and in. Then once we come back in, left knee tabletop, right toes down. We push out for 3, 2, and 1. Then we switch to the left, toes, balls of our feet, right knee tabletop, push for 3, 2, 1, and then back in. Both legs push out again 3 times, 2, and 1. Now when I'm on my toes, right leg out for 3. When I'm on my toes, my heel is lifted up nice and high. So I'm getting into my quads. Again, the breath is up to you. The pace can be up to you as well. 3 pushes with both legs, 3 with the right, 3 with the left. That is your series today. Nice high heels when we're on the toes today. Evenly weighted throughout all 5 toes, then evenly weighted throughout all 10 toes. Pelvis is staying nice and still. That's our focus. The pelvis is not moving as we alternate the legs. Keep it nice and still. 3, 3, and 3. Nice high heels. We're gonna do 2 more rounds. And then wherever you at, we have 1 more with both legs pushing out 3 times, 1 more with the right leg pushing out 3 times, and then 1 more with the left leg pushing out 3 times. Again, keep those heels up. Keep that pelvis still. Okay, I'm on my last series with the left. And then when I finish that one on the left, I'm just gonna pause all the way back in. Okay, we're switching to the arches of our feet. They're gonna stay that same distance away. Again, our focus is our pelvis just staying nice and still. We're holding our neutral spine. Both arches stay on. We're going into 2s this time. So both legs arches press out 2 times, then the right arch presses out twice, and then the left arch presses out twice. And we're going 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 until I tell you to stop. So out with the arches, in, last one, out, in, then the right leg pushes out 2 times. Then the left arch goes on and we push out 2 times with the left. So again, 2 bilateral and 2 unilateral on the arches, making it a little faster for switches. So it should be a little more challenging on your pelvic stability. Again, the idea is that that pelvis stays anchored down into the carriage the entire time. Really feeling our quads working here. The breath is all up to you today. I'm exhaling out, inhaling back. Again, make sure you get onto the arch. And then we'll do 2 more rounds, both legs out. And then I'm gonna do one more round with both legs out twice, one more round with the right leg out twice, left leg out twice. And then when I finish these two on the left, I'm gonna pause all the way back in. Okay, then we are going arches. We're going from our arches to our heels. We're moving into singles next. Should be a little more challenging for our pelvis. So again, that is our focus, to keep that pelvis nice and still rather than the hips kind of swishing side to side. So heels are on, singles, one time with the heels, in, one time with the right, in, one with the left, in. Then we go both, in, right, in, left, in. Again, feel those quads. The breath is up to you. I'm exhaling out, inhaling back today, and then I'm really focusing on trying to keep my pelvis nice and still. You can always have your hands on your hips just to make sure that your pelvis is staying as still as you can get it. Again, I don't want like a swish of your hips going side to side. Use your core for that stability. We're gonna do 2 more series. And then one more with both legs, one more with the right, one more with the left. When we finish that one on the left, we can pause in. Feel free to give ourselves a little break. We are going to sit off to the side of our reformers. And then once we sit ourselves off to the sides, we are just gonna go on to one single red spring. Everything else can come off. We're gonna lie ourselves down, or that's one heavy spring on my reformer. So one heavy, we're lying down. When we get down onto our reformers, we're gonna reach back and grab our short loops into our hands. Now, lighter than what we're used to, stay on this lighter spring. I want us to go a little lighter for our core work today. Arms are just gonna go straight up to the ceiling, hands are right over our shoulders. Neutral spines, and then we're bringing our knees up into a tabletop position. My legs are zipped together. We're starting with ab curls. So on an exhale, I'm gonna press my palms down, nod my chin to my chest, curl up into an abdominal curl, and then we're gonna inhale, return back down with control. Again, we're gonna exhale, nod, curl right towards our bra lines, and then we're inhaling to return back down, feeling a little less work in our necks, hopefully with this lighter spring today. Exhale, nod, curl to your bra lines. Again, inhale as we return back down, keeping the legs zipped together. And then again, holding that nice neutral spine so I'm not collapsing into my low back every time I curl up. We're gonna go for 2 more. Inhale to return, and then last one, exhale, nod, curl, and then we're inhaling to return back down. Okay, we can relax the feet, can give ourselves a little stretch. We can either sway our knees, we can hug them, we can stretch them, and then we're just gonna add in some leg extensions with ab curls. And then we're gonna be done with those. So arms are going back up to the ceiling, knees up into a tabletop position, legs are zipped together. We are going to exhale, nod, curl, extend our legs out to a challenging level, either over or under the foot bar. We inhale to return back down with control. Exhale, nod, curl, extend those legs out to that challenging level. Inhale, return. Again, we're curling to our bra lines. Abs are going into our backs. Exhale, press, curl, extend. Inhale, return. We're just gonna go for 3 more. 2. And then last one, press, curl, extend. And then we're inhaling to return back down. Okay, once we come down, I'm gonna hang my straps up onto the pegs, and then we're gonna sit off to the left side of our reformers. We're staying on this one heavy spring. We're gonna grab our boxes, and they're gonna go to the left side of the reformer. Okay, now when you get your box, we're just gonna set the long box on the floor right next to our reformers. And then once we set the box down, I'm just gonna have it a couple inches away from my carriage, a couple inches away from my foot bar so it's not jammed up against my reformer. We're gonna kneel on our box, and we're gonna face our foot bars. Now when we kneel, hands are gonna go onto the 2 front corners of the box. We are going to take our right foot onto the shoulder block next to us. We're gonna have to like almost grab it and pull it out with that foot. Okay, now once we are here, 4-point kneeling, or at least 3-point kneeling, my shoulders are right over my hands, and then my left knee is right underneath my hip. When we go into this glute exercise, we're in a tiny external rotation to the right side just so our knee can lift up off the carriage. I'm gonna keep it pulled out, and then I'm stabilizing from my shoulders and my core. The right knee is gonna lift off the carriage. Again, we're in a tiny, tiny external rotation. We push the carriage out with our right leg. We bend to come back in. It doesn't come all the way in. Exhale out, inhale back to that starting position. I'm squeezing my glute every time I push the carriage out, and then I'm just resisting to come back in. Again, it's an exhale to press. Think squeeze your glute as you push away. Inhale back in. Abs are drawing in to our backs. Again, exhale out, squeeze the glute. Inhale back. So quads, hamstrings are automatically working. We want to think we're firing up that glute max as well. So right where our butt connects to our leg. Out, in, squeeze, in. Let's go for 4. Again, abs are in. We're stabilizing from the shoulders and the core. And then last one. Okay, now once we come back in, we can just let the carriage come all the way back home. My hips do rotate towards my box, that's fine. My right knee is still on the carriage. We're changing to 1 medium spring, so that's a blue on my balanced body. Take off the heavy. 1 medium spring. Pull the carriage back out with your right knee, so now your hips are parallel to the floor. Hands are staying on the 2 front corners of the box. We are pushing our right leg back out, and now we're gonna hold out here. My toes are curled onto the carriage. Heel is lifted up high into the shoulder block. I'm pushing slightly out with my arms so that my shoulders are not over my hands, just so I can get a little brace here. We're taking our left leg, ready? It's gonna go around the right leg, so we're in a plank. Rotate your pelvis slightly to the right again. Tuck the pelvis, hike the hips, bring the carriage in, press out into your plank. Tuck, pike, press out. Again, the hips need to stay rotated slightly to the right side the entire time so we can feel those left obliques engage as we lift, push out. Tuck, pike, press out. 3, legs stay long. 2, okay, on this last one, we press out, we hold, we bend the knees, stretch the legs. Bend the knees, stretch the legs. Pelvis stays slightly to the right side, slightly to the carriage the entire time. So again, you can get into those left obliques. Bend, tuck, press. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, I'm gonna just take both knees onto the carriage, let it come all the way back in, and then go ahead, step off. Now, once we step off, we are going to keep the box where it's at. We're gonna kneel and face the opposite direction. So we're gonna face our straps, the back side of the room. When we kneel, again, the box stays. We're still in a blue spring. It is going to feel light to start for your arm, just a heads up. It will get heavier when we add in our leg. If you want it heavier, push your box further forward. I'm just gonna keep mine where it's at. Again, it will get heavier. It's gonna start off a little light. We're gonna take the left hand onto the shoulder block next to us. I'm gonna have my shoulders, hips parallel to the floor. My left elbow is gonna be out to the side. Abs are in. I'm gonna push the carriage out with my left arm, bend wide to come back in, out and in. And what I want you to do is just move from your left arm. So when you push out and in, you're not bringing your chest down. I don't wanna see any of this where you rotate to the right when you push out. No, your shoulders, pelvis, torso stay in the same spot the entire time. You're just pushing out, bending wide with that left arm. The left shoulder stays out of your ear. So you're not doing any elevation of your shoulder up into your ear. We're gonna go for 3 more, 2, and 1. Now, when you come back in, you're gonna pause in. We extend our right leg behind us. The toes are down on the floor. This is where it gets a little more challenging. When we push the carriage out, we lift the right leg up. When we come in, we tap the toes. We press, we lift the right leg, we tap the toes as we come back in. So again, every time we push out, we lift our right leg, and I'm still keeping my shoulders and hips parallel to the floor. I'm feeling my obliques firing up a little more for that stability. Exhale out, inhale back. Again, the only thing moving should be the arm and leg. Let's go. 4, 3, 2. Now on this last one, we're gonna hold out, bend your elbow, bring the carriage halfway in, keep that leg lifted, it stays up, hips stay parallel to the floor, little pulses with just your arm, leg stay still, chest stay still, it's just the arm pulsing, 3 inches in and out, 4, 3, 2, 1, all the way out, all the way in, set the knee down. Okay, we're gonna step off of our box. We're gonna walk around to the other side. We're grabbing this strap that's right next to us into our right hand. Now, I'm still on 1 medium spring. If this series is too heavy, go to a light spring. Stand in front of your box, facing your foot bar, not facing the straps. We're gonna keep the right foot on the floor, left foot, I would go like center of the box. Long loop light, short loop is gonna be heavy for our arm. I'm gonna take my left hand at my hip, or it can go into your thigh. Neutral spine when we're standing, and then we're gonna hinge forward with a flat back. Abs are in, our right palm should be rotated towards the foot bar. We're going to do bicep curls. I'm gonna exhale, curl, inhale as I extend. Again, long loop lighter, short loop heavier. If this is too heavy, go to a light spring. The elbow stays right into your ribs. We keep this little hinge forward, and I'm drawing my abs into my back here. Exhale, curl, inhale to extend. Curl and extend. Let's go for 5, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, then once we extend, we're gonna pause. I'm going to grab the long loop now into my right hand. We're gonna do triceps. So I'm gonna take the strap over my head, grab it with the left strap as well, and then we're gonna hinge forward again, extend the arms, bend the elbows. Extend, bend. Do not think that you have to get into a full extension here if you can't. Exhale, extend, inhale, bend. Let's just do 4, 2, and 1. Ooh, I did not get into a full extension on that last one. Okay, carefully take your strap back onto the peg, and then we're gonna take the box to the other side. Now, when we take it to the other side, same thing. Long box is on the floor. It does not have to be up against your foot bar or your reformer. I have it like an inch away from both. Back to 1 heavy spring. Take off that medium, and then we're kneeling on our box and we're facing the foot bar. Hands are gonna be right towards the front edge of the box, or 2 front corners. And then I'm gonna carefully take my left foot on and just pull the carriage out. Now, stability comes from our shoulders and our core. I'm going to draw my abs in. When I lift my left knee up, I have a tiny rotation of my hips to the left. We go out and in with the left leg. When we come in, obviously the carriage does not come all the way home. It just comes to that starting position and we push, squeezing the glute every time we press out. Exhale, inhale back. Squeeze the glute. Again, abs are in to our backs. Exhale, press. Inhale, return. Lengthening through the crown of our head. Eyes looking right down to the floor. Let's go for 5, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, I'm gonna set my knee down. Just let the carriage come in, switch to a medium spring on our reformer, take off the heavy. Pull the carriage again back out with the left leg. Feel free to give your wrist a roll if you need to. And then we're gonna go ahead and push our left leg out. Now again, my toes are curled, my heel is lifted. I'm gonna take my right foot, it's gonna go over the left, so I'm gonna hook it over the left, and then the hips are rotated slightly to the left. Tuck, pike, press back out, tuck, pike, press back out, legs stay long. Tuck the pelvis, lift the hips, push the carriage back out. Again, we're staying rotated slightly to the left side so we can get into our right obliques. Okay, let's do 3, 2. Then on this last one, hold your legs out, ready, bend the knees, press, bend, exhale, press, inhale, bend, exhale, press, hips stay to the left, feel those right obliques, bend, stretch, 4, feel those arms, 3, getting nice and fatigued, 2, 1, and again, I'm just gonna come down onto my carriage. Whew, let it come in. Feel free to give your wrists a little bit of a roll if you need to. And then we're going to kneel on our box and face the opposite side. So we're facing our straps next. Hands are on the 2 front corners. Again, if you need to give your wrists a little roll, a little break, you can. I'm gonna set my knees back, so shoulders over the hands, hips are right over the knees again. Take the right hand onto the shoulder block. Make sure you square your shoulders and your hips to the floor. Elbow's gonna be out to the side. We're gonna exhale, push out with our right arm, wide to come in, out, in. Again, lengthen through the crown of your head. Draw your abs in here. Exhale, press, wide to come back in. Again, it's gonna start kind of easy and then it's gonna get a little more challenging as we go. But if you want it a little more challenging, can push your box a little further forward, out and in. Again, I'm drawing my abs in to my back here. Three more, chest stay still, hips stay still, and 1. Okay, now once we come back in, we're gonna pause. We extend our left leg behind us, the toes should be on the floor. When we exhale to press out, we lift the leg up. When we bring the carriage in, we tap the toes. Out and lift, tap the toes. I'm still trying to keep my hips and my shoulders parallel to the floor for this series, finding my stability in my shoulder and my core. Feel those obliques working a little more to help stabilize us. We exhale to press, lift. Inhale back, I'm squeezing my butt every time I lift my leg. I'm not rotating my pelvis when I lift. 4, 3, 2. Now in this last one, we hold the leg up, we bring the carriage halfway in, we only move that arm. Think 3 4-inch pulses. Keep the leg lifted, shoulders, hips, stay in the same spot. We're just moving the right arm. 5, 4, 3, draw your abs in, 2, 1, we go out and in. Okay, we're stepping off of our box, walking around to the other side, grabbing the strap that's right next to us into our left hand, long loop lighter, short loop heavier. I'm gonna keep my left foot on the floor, right foot is gonna go right about center of the box. Again, if this is too heavy, go to 1 light spring instead of this medium spring. Neutral spine when we're standing. Hand can either be at your hip or on your thigh. The left palm should be rotated forward. We're hinging forward with our spine to do these bicep curls. Curl, extend, exhale, curl, inhale as we extend. Elbow needs to stay in to our ribs. Exhale as we curl in, inhale to extend that arm back out. And abs into the back. Let's go 4, 3, And then last one. Okay, a little more challenging triceps. Again, I'm gonna use my long loop for this one. We're gonna take that arm overhead, grab it with your right hand as well. Ready, we hinge forward. We don't have to get into a full extension, but we extend and bend, extend and bend. Exhale, inhale, keep that little hinge forward. Abs are in, flat back. 4 more. Woo. 3, 2, and 1. Oh gosh, nowhere near a full extension on those. Okay, hang that strap up. We're gonna take our box. It can go back to its home. And then once you get that box back to your home, we are going on to 2 red springs for some feet and straps. Now, if you want it heavier, feel free to add on 1 light. So I'm on 2 heavies, which are my 2 reds, and then I'm gonna add on a yellow spring as well, just to make it a little heavier for my legs today. We're gonna lie ourselves back down onto our reformers. And then once we get down, we're gonna reach back, grab our short loops, or sorry, grab our long loops into our hands. Now, once we grab a hold of our loops, we are going to take them onto our feet, and then our legs will go up just as high as we can hold a neutral spine. I'm gonna start with my feet just parallel with each other. On an exhale, we're gonna pull our legs just straight down towards our springs, and then we'll inhale to come back up. So we're exhaling to pull down, holding our neutral spine, inhale, hinge, and as I exhale to lower, I'm drawing my abs in and up. So again, we're exhaling to pull down, drawing our abs in and up as we pull, inhale, hinge, again, just maintaining that nice neutral the entire time. We're gonna go for 2 more. And then last one, exhale, lower, inhale, hinge. Now when we come back up, we're gonna pause, externally rotate, so heels are together, toes are turned apart. Same thing, we're just gonna lower the legs down, and we're gonna hinge, come back up. Exhale to pull, bra lines stay heavy. Inhaling as we hinge, come back up. Again, the abs are drawing in, sacrum stays heavy as we lift. We're staying in that external rotation the entire time. So keep the heels together, keep the toes turned apart. We're gonna go for 2 more. And then last one. Now we're gonna hold our legs down here, stay in this external rotation. We're going to open our legs out to the sides of the room, stay in that same plane, and bring your heels right back together 8 times. Inhale, open, exhale, close, heels stay together, toes stay turned apart. As wide as you can go with your legs so we can really get into those adductors. Inhale, open, exhale, close. We have 2 and 1. Now, once we come back together, pause, hinge at the hips, come back up. Internal rotation, so toes are together, heels are turned apart. We exhale to pull our legs down. We inhale to hinge back up. Again, exhale, lower, keep the toes together, heels turned apart. Inhale, hinge. So the entire time we are staying in that internal rotation. The entire time we're staying in our neutral spine. So our bra lines are still heavy, our sacrums are still heavy. Two more. And then last one. Now again, when we come down, we're gonna pause 8 times. We open and close. We inhale to open, exhale, close. Now we need to stay in that internal, that medial rotation the entire time. So our range of motion is most likely gonna be a little smaller since the toes are pointed towards each other. Just make sure when you open and close, those toes are always pointed towards each other. We don't move into parallel or external rotation at any point. This is the last one. Okay, pause at the top, hinge at the hips, come back up. Feet are parallel again. We're gonna lower the legs back down towards our springs, open them wide out to the side, circle around and back up, parallel legs. We go down, we circle around and back up. 2 more circles, down, around and up. And then last one, when we come up, we pause, the feet are still parallel. We reverse, we open wide, we press down around, zip them together, hinge up for 3, 2, and then last one. Okay, now once we come up, back into our external rotation, heels are together, toes are turned apart. I'm gonna lower my legs back down towards my springs, open them wide up to the sides to circle around and back up. Heels together, toes apart. Down, circle around and back up. So staying in our external rotation now for these circles. This is the last one. Down, around and up. Now keep that external rotation. We reverse, we open, we press down around, we zip, we hinge to come back up again. Out, down, around, hinge. We should feel those inner thighs working to bring our legs together. Last one. Then when we come up, we pause at the top, internal rotation, toes together, heels apart. We go down, we circle around and up. Down, around and up. Again, make sure that the toes stay pointed towards each other the entire time. Last one. When we come up, we pause, we reverse, really feeling those adductors. Keep those toes pointed towards each other. Smaller circles with that internal rotation. Last one. Now, once we come back up, pause. We can allow the low backs to go flat. We'll bend the knees, bring the bottoms of the feet together, let the knees open wide, and just hold that prayer stretch. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay, we're gonna take our straps off of our feet and then we're just gonna hang them back up onto the pegs. Now once we hang them up, we're gonna sit to the left side of our reformers. When we sit off to the left side, I'm gonna go to one heavy spring. On my reformer, everything else is going to come off. We're gonna do one more round of abs, and then after that, we'll do a little stretch. So one heavy spring on your reformer. We're on the left side. Our left hand to the left corner of the foot bar. Our right foot is gonna go up and over to the shoulder block furthest away from us. The toes are gonna be curled, heels gonna be lifted up nice and high. Then I'm gonna take my right hand to the right corner, push the carriage out with my right leg. My chest is gonna be right over my foot bar. And then I'm gonna step my left foot up onto the shoulder block, heel is lifted. Now, if you need to make this a little easier, you can always add on one light spring with this existing heavy. If you feel fine, stay on the heavy spring. We're gonna push the carriage out with our arms for a long stretch, and then we're gonna pull the carriage back in. So I'm gonna inhale to push out with my arms, and then exhale to pull back in. Legs are gonna stay long, abs stay in, but stay down. We inhale to push away, range of motion up to you, and then again, we're exhaling to pull the carriages back in with our arms. Let's go for 3, 2, and then last one. All right, now once we come back in, we're gonna pause, bend the knees, carefully set them down. Hands are gonna stay on our foot bar, but if you wanna give them a little roll just to stretch out your wrist, give your wrist a little break, we can give them a little roll. Now, we're gonna stay on one heavy spring, so if you did add on that light, take it off. Hands are gonna go back onto our foot bar, thumbs are with our fingers. We are going to shift our hips forward into a little down stretch. I'm gonna reach my chest or my hand, or reach my chest or my arms. Again, hips are just shifted slightly forward. We're not collapsing into our low backs here. We're going to use the arms again, push the carriage out with our arms. Our hips are staying in the same spot, and we're gonna pull back in again. I'm gonna reach my chest or my arms as I come back in. So we're inhaling to push out with the arms, the hips don't move. As we come back in, we reach our chest through, our abs are into our backs, and then just making sure that the shoulders when we come in are down out of the ears. Again, it's an inhale to push out, and an exhale to pull the carriage back in. Let's go for 2 more. And then last one, inhale away, and then exhaling as we pull back in. All right, now once we come back in, I'm gonna shift my butt back, and then same thing, if you wanna give your wrists a little roll, a little break, we can give those wrists a little bit of a roll. We're gonna move into it knees off. If this is too challenging for you, again, add on that light spring with the existing heavy that we have. Hands go back onto your foot bar, thumbs are with your fingers. Now, we are shifted back, so our shoulders are not over our hands. I'm gonna think I'm about 2 fist distance away from my heels, maybe a little more than that, but not super far. So about 2 fist distance away from my heels with my butt. And then again, shoulders are not over the hands. I'm gonna tuck my pelvis and round through my spine here. So I'm finding that nice C curve shape of my back. Abs are gonna draw in, and then ever so carefully, we're gonna lift our knees a couple inches off the carriage. Hold there, ready? We're gonna press the legs out, tuck, pull in, the knees should hover off the carriage, out and in, the arms stay in the same spot, legs push, tuck, pull. I'm really rounding through my spine, scooping into my abs to pull the carriage in, the arms stay back. Let's go 4, 3, exhale, 2, 1, and then we'll come back down carefully onto the knees. Okay, once we get back down onto our knees, we're gonna take our feet into our headrest, open our knees out nice and wide, drop the hips back towards our heels, and then I'm gonna push the carriage out with my arms. Chest is gonna drop down, and we're gonna hold this little child's pose. Now, if this doesn't feel good on the knees, or if you want a little bit of a different stretch, you can lift your butt up and hold with your hips lifted and drop your chest in between your arms. Again, it is up to you if you have your hips high, or if you go like me with your hips down low. Again, chest down, we're breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay, now from here, our left hand is gonna stay, our right hand is gonna reach underneath our body, our palm is rotated up to the ceiling. We rotate to the left side, and I'm just gonna try to drop my right shoulder down onto the carriage, try to stay in a nice big rotation to the left so we can really stretch out that right shoulder. And then I'm gonna come back center, take my right hand on, reach my left arm underneath, and then again, the palm is rotated up to the ceiling, stay in a nice little rotation to the right. Try to bring that left shoulder down onto the carriage so we can really stretch out that left side. Again, we're breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then come back center. Okay, take that left hand back on, drop your chest again down in between your arms. All right, now if your hips are down, we're gonna lift our hips up to push the carriage out, drop that chest down even further. And then think we're almost gonna like undulate through our spine to bring the carriage all the way in. I'm just gonna push my hips forward, reach my chest through my arms, push my palms down into the foot bar. Okay, then we can bring our hips back. You can sit off to the side of a reformer. You are all finished with that workout. Thank you so much again for joining me. Have a great rest of your day.